Number 1. The Kree-Skrull War. The Kree-Skrull War arc reveals the Kree emissary Captain Marvel, also known as Mar-Vell, a warrior scientist exiled on Earth, was secretly working with human Rick Jones, a non-powered Earth youth tied to the Avengers. That issue shows Kree extremist Ronan the Accuser, a formidable Kree judge and enforcer, seizing control over the Supreme Intelligence, the Kree collective mental supercomputer, and sending robotic sentries to Earth to devolve humanity. Captain Marvel trains and warns the Avengers about a Kree plan to roll humanity back into prehistoric status. During this time, government figure H. Warren Craddock leads an Alien Activities Commission, stirring public fear and prompting protesters to trash Avengers Mansion. Skrulls, a green, shape-changing alien race, infiltrate government and Avengers members disguised as Earth heroes. The real heroes disband temporarily when key members are abducted by Super Skrull, a Skrull empowered with the combined powers of the Fantastic Four. Remaining Avengers investigate and free Vision via a miniature Ant-Man shrinking into Vision's internal circuits. They uncover the Skrull base and rescue minds of Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Captain Marvel aboard a Skrull ship. Super Skrull escapes back to Skrull space with them. The Inhumans, led by Triton and Black Bolt, are also attacked, but Avengers protect them and restore Black Bolt's rule. The Avengers regroup, Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor return and serve as the Big Three leadership to reassemble the team. They locate Skrull impersonators posing as the Fantastic Four. Super Skrull departs with the prisoners, and Captain Marvel is coerced into building an Omni-Wave projector, a device for teleporting Skrull forces. Vision pursues the Skrull vessel. Meanwhile, mandroids built by Craddock's forces arrest other Avengers. Super Skrull attacks the Inhumans' hidden city on Attilan, but fails, and heads back under pressure. Mar-Vell is forced to finish the Omni-Wave projector under captive conditions. The Avengers battle mandroids in San Francisco. Black Bolt breaks Maximus's mental hold over the Inhumans and reassumes leadership. Rick Jones is captured by Kree agents and taken to Hala. Then, on the Skrull homeworld, Vision nearly kills a Skrull pilot to learn the war plans and save Scarlet Witch. Rick faces the Supreme Intelligence on Hala, then is sent into the Negative Zone, where he encounters Annihilus. Rick manifests cosmic potential and fires a psychic bolt to repel Annihilus, unlocking full evolutionary power. The storyline concludes with Rick wielding godlike energy to freeze both Kree and Skrull armies in stasis. That halts the conflict. Captain Marvel's fate is ambiguous. The Avengers return Rick and themselves to Earth. The Supreme Intelligence reasserts control over the Kree Empire. The storyline established Earth's role as strategic ground zero in a galaxy-spanning war, introduced tension between Vision and Scarlet Witch, and showcased Rick Jones accessing a Destiny Force manifesting hero-level creation powers. It remains a seminal narrative that defined Avengers' scope in cosmic storytelling. Number 2. The Night Gwen Stacy Died. In The Night Gwen Stacy Died, Peter Parker leads both a secret life as Spider-Man and a public life as a young man recently returned from caring for his friend Harry Osborn after a drug overdose. Harry's father, Norman Osborn, confronts Peter at Harry's bedside and browbeats him for the crisis. Norman shifts back into his Green Goblin persona upon recalling Spider-Man's identity. He uses a pumpkin bomb and a satchel to abduct Gwen Stacy, Peter's supportive girlfriend who is visiting Harry. Norman lures Spider-Man to a bridge. Atop the bridge, Norman taunts Spider-Man and knocks Gwen off the structure. Peter shoots a web line at Gwen's legs to save her, but the sudden stop inflicts a fatal neck injury. When Peter pulls her up, he realizes she is dead. Norman departs, claiming she died before the webbing caught her. In the subsequent issue, Peter storms a warehouse and beats Norman until he cannot kill him. Norman's glider then impales himself accidentally during the fight, resulting in his death. Peter returns home emotionally drained and encounters Mary Jane Watson, a vivacious friend whose grief forms a new bond with him. This arc became a major shift in comic storytelling by ending with Gwen's death and Norman's demise. It marked Peter's transition from idealism to trauma-driven vigilance. A later note explained that Gwen's neck snapped from whiplash caused by the web line, confirming Peter's unintended role in her death. The deaths of Gwen and the Green Goblin had long-term consequences. It redefined Spider-Man's emotional core, deepened his relationship with Mary Jane, and solidified Norman's Green Goblin as his primary nemesis. Number 3. The Dark Phoenix Saga. In January 1980, Marvel Comics began publishing the Uncanny X-Men issues number 129 through number 138, collectively known as the Dark Phoenix Saga. This storyline delves into Jean Grey's transformation into the Dark Phoenix and the ensuing consequences. The saga initiates with Jean Grey, a founding member of the X-Men, being exposed to the Phoenix Force during a mission in space. The Phoenix Force is a cosmic entity embodying life, death, and rebirth. Jean's exposure to this force enhances her abilities, granting granting her immense power. However, the transformation is not without its challenges, as Jean grapples with the overwhelming nature of her newfound strength. Subsequently, Jean becomes entangled with the Hellfire Club, a clandestine organization with its own agenda. Within the club, she encounters Mastermind, a member capable of creating illusions who manipulates her perceptions, leading her to adopt the persona of the Black Queen. This manipulation exacerbates her internal conflict, pushing her closer to the edge. As Jean's powers continue to escalate, she inadvertently destroys a star, resulting in the annihilation of a solar system and the loss of billions of lives. This catastrophic event prompts the Shi'ar Empire, an advanced alien civilization, to intervene. Led by Princess Lilandra Naramani, the Shi'ar demand justice for the destruction caused by the Dark Phoenix. A trial is convened, and the X-Men are drawn into a confrontation with the Shi'ar Imperial Guard, a formidable group of warriors tasked with enforcing the Empire's laws. In the ensuing battle, Jean Grey, overwhelmed by the enormity of her actions and the threat she poses, chooses to end her life. Her sacrifice halts the immediate threat, but the repercussions of her transformation and demise resonate throughout the universe. The Dark Phoenix saga remains a seminal narrative in comic book history, highlighting themes of power, responsibility, and sacrifice. It underscores the complexities of character evolution and the profound impact of individual choices on a cosmic scale. Number 4. Days of Future Past. The Days of Future Past storyline alternates between two distinct timelines, one set in an oppressive 2013 dominated by mutant-hunting Sentinels, and another in 1980 during a pivotal moment in mutant-human relations. In the future year 2013, mutant-hunting Sentinels have seized control of North America and enforce mutant internment camps. Remaining mutants wear power-nullifying inhibitor collars. Many mutants and superhumans are dead. To alter this future, Rachel Summers, daughter of Cyclops and Jean Grey in that timeline, uses her psychic power to project Kate Pryde's consciousness back into her younger self, Kitty Pryde, in 1980. Kate appears in Kitty's body during a training session in the X-Men's Danger Room at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Kitty is surprised, nearly crushed by traps, but she phases through successfully. She then collapses and reveals to the team that she is the adult Kate from the future and must prevent a critical event, the assassination of Senator Robert Kelly, a mutant critical political figure, along with Charles Xavier and Moira MacTaggart during a Senate hearing. At the Senate hearing, the new Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, led by Mystique, a shape-shifting mutant, ambush Kelly and their targets. The X-Men confront them. Wolverine nearly strikes Pyro, but is restrained. Xavier and MacTaggart are abducted by Mystique, disguised as security. Kitty disrupts Destiny's aim with a crossbow, saving Kelly's life. After the confrontation, Rachel's psychic influence returns Kate's mind to her original future body, and present Kitty resumes normal life, unaware of the interim period. In future frames, the altered present remains unresolved. The 2013 reality the survivors come from may still exist, or may have created a branching timeline rather than erased itself. Sentinels continue their advance, and the fate of mutant kind remains uncertain at the arc's end. The story does not show post-mission future, only implies possible change or divergence. Number 5. Secret Wars 1984. Secret Wars refers to two major Marvel Comics crossover events, the first in 1984 and the second in 2015, each with distinct narratives and impacts on the Marvel Universe. The original Secret Wars, 1984, written by Jim Shooter with art by Mike Zeck and Bob Layton, was created to promote a toy line. It begins when a cosmic entity known as the Beyonder transports Earth's heroes and villains to a distant planet called Battleworld. The Beyonder, fascinated by the conflict between good and evil, pits the two sides against each other, promising to grant the victors their greatest desires. The heroes, including the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four, face off against villains like Dr. Doom, Magneto, and the Lizard. Over the course of the series, alliances shift, and Dr. Doom ultimately steals the Beyonder's power, becoming nearly omnipotent before being defeated. The event is notable for introducing Spider-Man's black symbiote suit, which later becomes Venom, and for its exploration of character dynamics under extreme pressure. Number 6. Kraven's Last Hunt. Kraven's Last Hunt begins with Sergei Kravinoff, known as Kraven the Hunter, a seasoned big-game tracker who seeks one final conquest, Spider-Man, his lifelong rival. Kraven believes his legacy is incomplete because he has never fully defeated Spider-Man on his own terms. Kraven kidnaps Peter Parker during a rooftop ambush, injects him with a powerful sedative, and enters him alive in a shallow grave on Kraven's rural estate. He then dons Spider-Man's costume to patrol New York City with brutal force, targeting criminals more violently than Peter ever would. His path culminates in the capture of Vermin, a bestial sewer dweller whom Spider-Man previously needed help to beat. After 2 weeks trapped underground, Parker regains consciousness, digs himself out, and returns to confront Kraven. In a tense reunion at Kraven's estate, Kraven acknowledges his victory yet remains obsessed with proving he is superior. He releases Vermin, who retreats into the sewers. Parker, showing restraint, pursues Vermin only to bring him to justice rather than kill. Kraven, feeling that his purpose has been fulfilled and unable to bear his own obsession, leaves a written confession of his actions and takes his own own life by gunshot in the estate grounds. Spider-Man returns to New York, broken but determined, his survival affirming his resilience and moral code. This arc deepens the contrast between Kraven's belief in primal dominance and Peter's human empathy. Kraven's descent into ritualized violence marks a departure from heroic storytelling into psychological drama. Parker's emergence from burial symbolizes a rebirth tied to love and responsibility rather than dominance. The saga concludes with Kraven's death and Parker's resolve to continue his mission, cementing this crossover as a turning point in Spider-Man's narrative evolution. Number 7. Infinity Gauntlet. The Infinity Gauntlet is a major crossover event in Marvel Comics. First published in 1991, written by Jim Starlin with art by George Perez and Ron Lim. The story revolves around Thanos, a powerful cosmic warlord who seeks ultimate power by collecting the 6 Infinity Gems: time, space, mind, soul, reality, and power. These gems, when combined and wielded within the Infinity Gauntlet, grant the user near omnipotent control over all aspects of existence. Thanos' goal is to use this power to impress Death, a personified entity he is infatuated with, by erasing half of all life in the universe. The event begins with Thanos already in possession of the Gauntlet, having secretly gathered the gems off-panel. His first act is to wipe out half of all life in the universe with a snap of his fingers, causing widespread devastation and drawing the attention of Earth's heroes and cosmic entities alike. The surviving heroes, including the Avengers, Silver Surfer, and Doctor Strange, band together to confront Thanos, but they are vastly outmatched by his godlike abilities. Thanos effortlessly defeats them, showcasing the Gauntlet's power by altering reality, manipulating time, and even resurrecting his deceased loved ones to torment them. As the conflict escalates, cosmic beings such as Eternity, Galactus, and the Living Tribunal intervene, recognizing the threat Thanos poses to the multiverse. However, even these entities fall before the Gauntlet's might. Thanos ultimately transcends his physical form, merging with the universe itself. Meanwhile, his granddaughter Nebula, whom he had tortured and left for dead, seizes an opportunity to steal the Gauntlet while Thanos is distracted. She reverses his actions, restoring the universe to its previous state, but her inexperience with the Gauntlet's power creates new chaos. The heroes, now aided by Adam Warlock, a cosmic strategist with a deep understanding of the gems, devise a plan to reclaim the Gauntlet. Warlock's knowledge proves crucial as he orchestrates a final confrontation with Nebula, who is eventually overpowered. In the end, the Gauntlet is taken by Warlock, who distributes the gems among trusted allies to prevent their misuse. The event concludes with the universe restored, but the lingering threat of the Infinity Gems remains, setting the stage for future storylines. The Infinity Gauntlet is notable for its exploration of power, morality, and the consequences of absolute control. It also serves as a pivotal moment in Marvel's cosmic narrative, influencing characters like Thanos, Warlock, and Nebula for decades. The event's impact extends beyond comics, inspiring adaptations in other media, including the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where the Infinity Gauntlet storyline plays a central role in films like Avengers, Infinity War 2018, and Avengers Endgame 2019. Number 8. Infinity War. Infinity War 1992 is a Marvel crossover event that follows Adam Warlock, a cosmic being connected to the Soul Gem, one of the 6 Infinity Gems that control aspects of reality. The story begins when Thanos, a powerful warlord obsessed with power, detects a new cosmic threat. This threat is the Magus, a dark manifestation of Adam Warlock's suppressed evil, who seeks to reshape the universe by creating twisted doppelgangers of Earth's heroes and gaining control of the Infinity Gems. The conflict draws in major heroes, including Spider-Man, a web-slinging crime fighter with enhanced agility and spider sense, Captain America, a super soldier and master tactician, Iron Man, a billionaire genius wearing advanced armor, Thor, the Norse god of thunder wielding Mjolnir, Hulk, a giant whose strength increases with rage, and Doctor Strange, the sorcerer supreme who wields immense mystical power. Other groups such as the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, and cosmic beings like Eternity, the personification of the universe, and the Living Tribunal, the supreme cosmic judge, also take part. The Magus manipulates events from the shadows, using the power of the Infinity Gems to spread chaos and deceive heroes and villains alike. Thanos, despite his past as a major threat, recognizes the greater danger and allies with Adam Warlock to stop the Magus from achieving total domination. As reality begins to unravel, a final battle ensues across multiple dimensions, leading to Adam Warlock outwitting the Magus and trapping him within the Soul Gem. With the Magus defeated, balance is restored, but lingering threats remain, setting the stage for future cosmic conflicts such as Infinity Crusade 1993. The event reinforces the significance of the Infinity Gems and the immense power they hold, shaping many future battles in the Marvel Universe. Number 9. Avengers Disassembled. In 2004, the Avengers Disassembled storyline unfolded, marking a pivotal moment for the Avengers. The narrative begins with Jack of Hearts, a former Avenger with explosive energy powers, returning unexpectedly to Avengers Mansion. Upon arrival, Jack of Hearts detonates himself, causing significant destruction and resulting in the death of Scott Lang, also known as Ant-Man, who possesses the ability to shrink and grow in size. Shortly after, the Vision, a synthezoid with density-altering abilities, crashes a Quinjet into the mansion. Emerging from the wreckage, Vision releases a horde of Ultron drones, leading to a chaotic battle. During this confrontation, Jennifer Walters, known as She-Hulk for her superhuman strength and resilience, loses control and violently tears Vision apart. Concurrently, Tony Stark, the armored superhero Iron Man, exhibits erratic behavior during a United Nations meeting, appearing intoxicated despite his sobriety. This incident results in the revocation of the Avengers UN Charter. As the team grapples with these crises, a Kree warship attacks, escalating the turmoil. In the ensuing battle, Clint Barton, known as Hawkeye for his exceptional archery skills, sacrifices himself by commandeering a damaged Kree vessel and directing it away before it explodes. Dr. Stephen Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme and Master of the Mystic Arts, arrives to reveal that Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch with reality-warping abilities, is behind these catastrophic events. Wanda's suppressed memories of her lost children resurface, leading to a mental breakdown and her assault on the Avengers. Doctor Strange confronts Wanda, ultimately rendering her unconscious. Magneto, the mutant with control over magnetism, and Wanda's father, arrives to take her into his care. In the aftermath, the Avengers disband, mourning the loss of their teammates and reflecting on the profound impact of these events. Number 10. House of M. House of M is a 2005 Marvel Comics crossover event written by Brian Michael Bendis with art by Olivier Coipel. The story follows the aftermath of Avengers Disassembled, 2004, where the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, suffering from a mental breakdown due to the loss of her children and her unstable reality-warping powers, becomes a danger to the world. Concerned for her safety and the threat she poses, the Avengers and the X-Men gather to decide her fate. Professor X and Magneto, her father, advocate for compassion, while others, like Iron Man and Doctor Strange, argue for more drastic measures. Before a decision can be made, the Scarlet Witch uses her powers to alter reality, creating a world where mutants are the dominant species and humans are the minority. In this new reality, known as the House of M, Magneto rules as the patriarch of a global mutant empire, with his family, including Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch, holding positions of power. Key characters experience altered lives. Wolverine retains memories of the original timeline. Spider-Man is happily married to Gwen Stacy, and the Avengers are a celebrated team of mutant heroes. However, cracks in this fabricated world begin to show as Wolverine, with the help of Layla Miller, a mutant who also remembers the true reality, works to awaken others. As more heroes regain their memories, they confront the Scarlet Witch, who is revealed to be the architect of this altered world. The climax occurs when the heroes, led by Wolverine and Magneto, confront Wanda at her family's estate. In a moment of clarity, she realizes the harm she has caused and utters the phrase, "No more mutants," using her powers to rewrite reality once more. This act depowers the vast majority of mutants worldwide, reducing their population from millions to just a few hundred. The event concludes with the restoration of the original timeline, but the Marvel Universe is forever changed. Mutants, once a thriving species, are now an endangered minority, leading to a shift in the dynamics of the X-Men and their ongoing struggle for survival. House of M is significant for its exploration of themes such as power, loss, and the consequences of altering reality. It also had a lasting impact on the Marvel Universe, particularly in the X-Men titles, where the depowering of mutants became a central narrative focus. The event is remembered for its dramatic stakes, emotional depth, and the pivotal role it played in shaping the direction of Marvel Comics in the mid-2000s. Number 11. The Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier arc begins when Rogers is briefed by the espionage agency S.H.I.E.L.D. on the Winter Soldier, an enduring assassin active across decades who appears not to age. S.H.I.E.L.D. believes the soldier may be Bucky Barnes, Rogers' sidekick thought dead in World War II. Fury suspects that Alexander Lukin, a Russian oligarch and former intelligence officer, holds a powerful reality-warping artifact called the Cosmic Cube and controls the soldier. Rogers investigates Lukin's base in a remote mountain compound. There he confronts the Winter Soldier for the first time. During combat, Rogers seizes the Cosmic Cube and uses it to counter the soldier's brainwashing. The soldier is revealed to be Bucky Barnes, Rogers' former partner who survived apparent death and was reprogrammed by Soviet handlers using cybernetic enhancements. After regaining memory, Bucky feels guilt and shatters the cube. Rogers decides to spare Bucky, attempting rehabilitation instead of retribution. Their confrontation ends without clear resolution as Bucky flees, haunted by remorse and seeking isolation. Epilogue reveals that Rogers' longtime nemesis, the Red Red Skull, remains alive by transferring consciousness into Lucan's mind using the Cosmic Cube device. Throughout the arc, Falcon appears, an aerial partner told to assist Rogers in locating the soldier and disrupting Lucan's operations. Sharon Carter, an intelligence agent with personal stakes in the soldier's crimes, confronts past trauma tied to one of his acts and becomes pivotal in the joint effort to free him. This arc tracks Rogers from encountering a mysterious assassin to uncovering the truth about his own ally, preventing misuse of the Cosmic Cube, and beginning a fragile hero-sidekick reconciliation. Number 12. Planet Hulk. The Planet Hulk storyline begins when Hulk loses control during a gamma bomb incident in Las Vegas. The Illuminati, a secret cabal of Earth's heroes, deem Hulk too dangerous and trick him into space aboard a shuttle, while psychiatrist Doc Samson helps manipulate him. Namor Mackenzie refuses and diverges. The shuttle veers through a wormhole, sending Hulk off course. Hulk crash lands on the harsh planet Sakaar. He is enslaved and fitted with an obedience disc. Forced into gladiatorial combat under the rule of the Red King, Angmo Asan, he becomes a public sensation. Hulk forms an unbreakable pact with fellow gladiators. They share stories and trauma. In the arena, the Red King deploys the Silver Surfer, Norrin Radd, to fight Hulk. Hulk breaks the Surfer's obedience disc, and with unwilling aid, Surfer frees all gladiators' discs. The Warbound refuse to execute Elo on command, pledging each other's lives instead. The group flees into Sakaar's hinterlands, gathering followers who believe Hulk is the legendary Sakaarson, despite his own denial. Kyera, the Old Strong, Sakaar's elite lieutenant and bearer of the planet's old power, is dispatched by the Red King to assassinate Hulk. During their duel, a fleet of bioengineered aliens named Spikes arrives. Kyera realizes the Red King unleashed the Spikes to judge his subjects. She abandons her duty and joins the rebellion. Hulk leads an assault on Crown City. He overcomes the Red King in personal combat, ascends as monarch, and marries Kyera. Peace follows his coronation, and she reveals she is pregnant with his child. Meanwhile, the shuttle's wreckage is converted into a memorial. Its self-destruct sequence activates, obliterating Crown City and killing Kyera. Hulk's grief and fury become a catalyst. Accompanied by the surviving Warbound, Hulk departs Sakaar aboard the repaired shuttle to return to Earth in search of justice and vengeance. His decision sets the stage for the World War Hulk crossover. Number 13. Civil War. Civil War is a 2006 to 2007 Marvel Comics crossover event. The story centers on an ideological conflict between superheroes over the Superhuman Registration Act, a law requiring all superpowered individuals to register their identities with the government and undergo training. The catalyst for this conflict is a tragic incident in Stamford, Connecticut, where a group of young superheroes, the New Warriors, accidentally cause an explosion during a reality TV shoot, resulting in the deaths of hundreds, including children. This disaster sparks public outrage and leads to the passage of the Registration Act, dividing the superhero community into two factions. On one side is Iron Man, Tony Stark, who supports the act, believing it will provide accountability and prevent further tragedies. He is joined by heroes like Mr. Fantastic, Hank Pym, and Spider-Man, who initially reveals his secret identity to the public as a show of support. On the opposing side is Captain America, Steve Rogers, who views the act as a violation of civil liberties and an overreach of government control. He leads a resistance movement, including characters like Luke Cage, the Falcon, and the Young Avengers, who operate underground to protect their freedoms. The conflict escalates into a full-scale war, with battles taking place across the United States, including a climactic fight in New York City. Key moments include Spider-Man's defection from Iron Man's side after realizing the ethical implications of the act, and the imprisonment of anti-registration heroes in a facility in the negative zone. The war reaches its peak when Captain America and Iron Man face off in a brutal final confrontation. However, after gaining the upper hand, Captain America surrenders upon realizing the collateral damage and loss of public trust caused by the conflict. His arrest marks the end of the war, but the fallout continues to shape the Marvel Universe. The event concludes with Iron Man becoming the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., while Captain America is later assassinated, further deepening the divisions within the superhero community. Civil War is notable for its exploration of themes such as security versus freedom, the ethics of government oversight, and the personal costs of ideological conflict. It also significantly altered the dynamics of the Marvel Universe, leading to lasting changes in character relationships and the introduction of new status quos. The event's influence extended beyond comics, inspiring storylines in other media, including the Marvel Cinematic Universe film Captain America: Civil War, 2016, which adapts the core conflict while incorporating elements unique to the films. Number 14, Annihilation. Annihilation is a 2006 Marvel Comics crossover event written by Keith Giffen, with contributions from various writers and artists, including Andrea DeVito and Scott Collins. The story focuses on the cosmic side of the Marvel Universe, centering on the invasion of the Negative Zone's Annihilation Wave, led by Annihilus, a tyrannical ruler seeking to conquer the positive universe. The event begins with the Annihilation Wave devastating the Kree Empire, one of the most powerful civilizations in the galaxy, and quickly spreading across the universe, destroying planets and civilizations in its path. This catastrophic threat forces unlikely alliances among cosmic heroes, anti-heroes, and former villains, who must band together to stop Annihilus. Key figures in the conflict include Nova, Richard Rider, who becomes a central protagonist after receiving the full power of the Nova Corps following its near destruction. Other major players include Silver Surfer, Ronan the Accuser, Thanos, and the Super Skrull, each contributing to the resistance effort in unique ways. The event is structured around multiple mini-series, such as Annihilation, Nova, Annihilation Silver Surfer, and Annihilation Ronan, which build up to the main Annihilation series. These tie-ins explore the individual struggles of the characters as they prepare for the final confrontation with Annihilus. The climax occurs when the resistance forces, led by Nova, launch a desperate counterattack against the Annihilation Wave. In a pivotal moment, Drax the Destroyer sacrifices himself to kill Thanos, who had been manipulating events from behind the scenes. Nova ultimately confronts Annihilus in a brutal battle, using the quantum bands to defeat him and destroy the Annihilation Wave's command center. The event concludes with the Annihilation Wave defeated, but the cosmic landscape forever altered. The Kree Empire is left in ruins, and Nova emerges as a key figure in the Marvel cosmic hierarchy, setting the stage for future storylines like Annihilation, Conquest, and War of Kings. Annihilation is notable for revitalizing Marvel's cosmic storytelling, which had been relatively dormant for years. It introduced a darker, more serious tone to the cosmic universe, emphasizing large-scale warfare and the moral complexities of its characters. The event also elevated lesser-known characters like Nova and the Super Skrull to greater prominence, reshaping their roles in the Marvel Universe. Its success led to a resurgence of interest in Marvel's cosmic titles, paving the way for subsequent events and series that expanded the scope of its interstellar narratives. Number 15, World War Hulk. The story of World War Hulk recounts the return trip of Hulk from exile and his retaliation on Earth. Bruce Banner begins the arc after being exiled from Earth by the Illuminati group, whose spacecraft explosion killed his pregnant wife and sparked his vengeance. Bruce spent time absorbing intense radiation on the planet Saga, forming a soldier coalition called the Warbound, and then headed toward Earth with power fueled by rage and radiation. Bruce lands over Manhattan and makes a stop on the lunar surface where he defeats Black Bolt, demonstrating the strength he gained since Saga, and then broadcasts a demand for the Illuminati to meet him in Madison Square Garden within 24 hours or face total planetary destruction. A series of battles in Manhattan where Bruce and his Warbound take on Gamma Corps and Ghost Rider occurs. He demolishes Iron Man and destroys Stark Tower, and then captures members of multiple heroic teams, implanting obedience discs on these figures to suppress their powers and convert Madison Square Garden into a gladiatorial arena for a staged trial by combat. After the defeats, Bruce forces members of the Illuminati onto the arena floor and orders 6 of them to fight a tentacled alien before commanding the remaining 4 to battle one another as a spectacle, only to reveal he intends justice, not murder, by sparing them at the last moment. The next issue focuses on Bruce's ongoing campaign through New York as he and Warbound finish defeating Hercules, Amadeus Cho, Namora, Angel, Doc Samson, and then take on Doom-tier threats like Doctor Strange, who is possessed by the entity Zom. Bruce overpowers the Mystic and forces Stephen Strange to flee, showing the vulnerability of magic and raw gamma power. The following issue includes the arrival of Sentry, Robert Reynolds, an ultra-powerful hero whose aura of calm provides a counterbalance to Bruce. The final issue climaxes with a massive showdown between Bruce and Sentry that levels parts of Manhattan. Their energy collision reverts both to human forms, at which point Meek tries to kill Banner in rage over Hulk disappearing, and then admits that Red King loyalists, not the Illuminati, caused the explosion that destroyed Saga, provoking a wave of gamma energy from Bruce that threatens Earth unless satellite defenses fire to knock him unconscious. Bruce ends unconscious in his human form, and emergency satellite weapons cluster from Stark and S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Negative Zone plan are used to suppress him, leading S.H.I.E.L.D. to imprison Banner 3 miles underground and place Warbound members into military custody. Namor is then spared because Bruce discovered he had opposed Hulk's exile from the start. Number 16. The Death of Captain America. In March 2007, Marvel Comics published Captain America Volume 5, issue number 25, titled The Death of the Dream Part 1, marking a pivotal moment in the Marvel Universe. This issue is part of the larger Civil War storyline. Following the conclusion of Civil War, Captain America surrenders to authorities after opposing the Superhuman Registration Act. While in S.H.I.E.L.D. custody, Rogers is assassinated. Crossbones, a mercenary and ally of the Red Skull, shoots him. Sharon Carter, a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and Rogers' former love interest, delivers the fatal blow under the influence of mind control. This assassination is orchestrated by the Red Skull, who inhabits the body of Alexander Lukin, a former Russian intelligence officer. The immediate aftermath sees S.H.I.E.L.D. director Tony Stark and the Black Widow investigating Rogers' death. Meanwhile, Bucky Barnes, Rogers' former sidekick, contemplates vengeance against Stark, blaming him for Rogers' demise. In a significant development, Stark reveals a letter from Rogers expressing his wish for Bucky to continue the mantle of Captain America. Bucky agrees to take on the role, provided he operates independently, without allegiance to Stark, S.H.I.E.L.D., or the Initiative. The Red Skull's machinations continue as he uses his control over Lukin's identity and the Cronus Corporation to destabilize the United States economically. He also manipulates S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, under the influence of Dr. Faustus, to incite violence among protesters, furthering his agenda. Additionally, the Red Skull plans to transfer his consciousness into Sharon Carter's unborn child, who is believed to be Rogers' offspring. This series of events is chronicled in subsequent issues of Captain America Volume 5, particularly in issues number 26 through number 30, 2007. These issues explore the ramifications of Rogers' death, Bucky's assumption of the Captain America mantle, and the Red Skull's ongoing schemes. The storyline significantly impacted the Marvel Universe, leading to lasting changes in character dynamics and setting the stage for future narratives. Number 17, Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion 2008 is a crossover event in which the Skrulls, a shape-shifting alien race capable of mimicking others at a genetic level, execute a long-planned infiltration of Earth by replacing key figures with disguised operatives. The invasion is led by Varanka, a Skrull queen who believes in a prophecy stating that Earth is destined to be the Skrulls' new home. She replaces Jessica Drew, a highly skilled fighter and espionage expert known as Spider-Woman, using her position within the superhero community to manipulate both the Avengers and S.H.I.E.L.D., a covert military intelligence agency. Tony Stark, a technological genius in advanced armor recognized as Iron Man, discovers that Skrulls are undetectable by conventional methods, leading to distrust among heroes. Reed Richards, a pioneering scientist with an elastic body referred to as Mr. Fantastic, develops a way to identify Skrull infiltrators but is incapacitated by the invaders before he can act. A Skrull impersonating Henry Pym, a brilliant biochemist and original Ant-Man, disables Janet Van Dyne, a size-changing hero known as Wasp, causing her body to release a biological weapon. The Skrulls unleash sleeper agents, including those replacing Elektra, a highly skilled assassin, and Black Bolt, the Inhuman King whose voice can cause cataclysmic destruction. The conflict reaches Wakanda, a technologically advanced African nation ruled by T'Challa, a master strategist and warrior known as Black Panther, as well as Atlantis, an undersea kingdom governed by Namor, a hybrid of human and Atlantean descent possessing immense strength. Meanwhile, Nick Fury, a veteran spy master and former S.H.I.E.L.D. director, resurfaces after years in hiding and assembles a resistance force known as the Secret Warriors, consisting of operatives like Daisy Johnson, an agent with seismic abilities called Quake. A major battle takes place in New York, where Thor, a god of thunder wielding the mystical hammer Mjolnir, and the combined forces of the Avengers, including Steve Rogers, a super soldier known as Captain America, and Clint Barton, a precise marksman known as Hawkeye, fight the Skrull army. Norman Osborn, a calculating industrialist and former Green Goblin, lands the final blow by killing Varanki, positioning himself as a hero in the eyes of the public. Following the invasion, Tony Stark is blamed for failing to prevent the crisis, leading to the dissolution of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Osborn's rise to power as the leader of Hammer, a new security organization. With Skrulls scattered, distrust lingers among Earth's defenders as they struggle to recover from the extensive deception. Number 18, Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron is a 2013 10-issue crossover event in Marvel Comics. It centers on the sentient robot tyrant Ultron, who conquers Earth in an apocalyptic future known as Earth 61112. He deploys armies of powerful drones that patrol ruined cities, hunting survivors. The story opens with Hawkeye, a skilled archer resilient in battle, rescuing Spider-Man from underworld criminals in devastated New York. They reach an underground bunker populated by heroes including Cage, a durable street-level protector, She-Hulk, a green green-skinned powerhouse, Iron Man, an armored inventor, Emma Frost, a telepathic strategist, and Black Widow, a former covert agent. Captain America, a patriotic super soldier, gathers the group and formulates a plan. The Resistance discovers Ultron's mind operates from the future, using temporal technology to control the present. Heroes Storm, a weather-manipulating leader, Quake, a seismic force wielder, Red Hulk, Nick Fury, a strategic commander, Quicksilver, a super-speed twin, and Wolverine, a regenerative mutant fighter, all join a mission to travel forward through time using a time platform. Wolverine, predicting failure, ventures alone into the past with Invisible Woman, an energy field projector, to eliminate Hank Pym, a genius scientist responsible for Ultron's creation. Their initial attempt succeeds in killing Pym, but returning to the future, they find an even more chaotic world ruled in part by magic, dominated by Morgan Le Fay, a powerful sorceress, and militarized defenders including alternate versions of Captain America, Hulk, Thing, Cable, Doctor Strange, Wasp, and Star-Lord. That world's Iron Man, a technological commander, confronts Wolverine and Sue, enforcing a lockdown aboard a helicarrier and resisting their story as something magical agents planted. A battle erupts involving Morgan's magical forces and mechanical drones above New York, destroying helicarriers. A dying Tony Stark warns Wolverine not to tear apart time, describing it as a living organism that would break. Wolverine re-enters the past again, this time only to warn Pym instead of killing him. In issue number 10, heroes including Doctor Doom's ally on time travel collaborate, and after intense effort, disable Ultron using a fail-safe program hidden in Ultron's design by Pym. The future resets closer to normal, though residual effects remain. Number 19, Secret Wars 2015. The second Secret Wars 2015 is a more complex and universe-altering event. It serves as the culmination of Hickman's runs on Fantastic Four and Avengers, where the multiverse faces destruction due to incursions, collisions between parallel realities. The final incursion results in the annihilation of all universes except two: the main Marvel universe, Earth 616, and the Ultimate Universe, Earth 1610. Doctor Doom, with the help of Doctor Strange and the Molecule Man, uses the power of the Beyonders to save fragments of these worlds, creating a new battle world ruled by him as God Emperor. This patchwork planet is divided into domains, each representing different realities or timelines, such as the Age of Apocalypse or the Marvel Zombies universe. The story follows the surviving heroes, led by Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, as they resist Doom's tyrannical rule and seek to restore the multiverse. Key moments include the revelation that Doom's actions were driven by his desire to save what he could, albeit under his control, and the eventual overthrow of his regime by Richards, who uses the power of the Molecule Man to rebuild the multiverse. The event concludes with the creation of a new unified Marvel universe, merging elements of Earth 616 and Earth 1610, and introducing new status quos for characters like Miles Morales, who transitions from the Ultimate Universe to the main continuity. Both iterations of Secret Wars are significant for their scale and impact on Marvel's storytelling. The 1984 version is remembered for its straightforward, action-driven narrative and lasting character developments, while the 2015 version is praised for its intricate plot, thematic depth, and role in reshaping the Marvel Universe. Together, they highlight Marvel's ability to reinvent its universe while maintaining continuity and exploring the moral complexities of its characters. Number 20, Civil War II. Civil War 2016 is a Marvel Comics crossover event that centers around the conflict between Tony Stark and Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, over the use of Ulysses, a young Inhuman with the ability to predict the future. Ulysses has visions of catastrophic events before they happen, and Carol Danvers, believing that these visions can be used to prevent tragedies, advocates for preemptive strikes to stop crimes before they occur. Tony Stark, however, opposes this approach, arguing that punishing people for crimes they haven't committed violates personal freedom. The conflict escalates when Ulysses predicts a devastating event involving Thanos, the cosmic conqueror. Carol Danvers orders a preemptive strike on Thanos, leading to his capture, but the situation quickly spirals out of control, with Bruce Banner, Hulk, killed during the conflict, which intensifies the divide between the two sides. Tony Stark leads a group of heroes opposing Carol Danvers, including Black Panther, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Ant-Man, and Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. Carol Danvers leads her own faction, including Black Widow, Captain America, Sam Wilson, and War Machine. The event concludes with Tony Stark being severely injured in a final confrontation with Carol Danvers, leaving the Avengers fractured. The aftermath sees a divided superhero community, with Carol Danvers and Tony Stark maintaining opposing views on how to protect the world.